right now you're watching Blatantly Blunt TV, alright?
Cool, so needless to say, brother, it's an honour to speak to you. I've been listening to you from a young age. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Well, I want to thank you for the love and support over those years, man. I couldn't have done it without that love and support. So
thank you very much.
I don't think I take it for granted.
You know what? I'm not even gonna. Well, respect for you. Anyway, big up, man.
Cool,
you know, that's one thing I've noticed about you as an artist. You treat each artist due to the credits that they're providing the game, undoubtedly. From the time that you've been going, which is from '84, I understand, doing electro. You know, I've seen a little pictures of moustache and all that. You know what I mean? I respect that, bro. I was born in '85, so I can't really. You know, what do you think?
You didn't really miss out, man. Those early days are pretty corny.
Well, what made you switch from the electro sound and that electronic sound into hip hop? What was the first thing that grabbed you about it?
No. That electro music was hip hop.
Okay.
That was hip hop. Like artists like Soul Sonic Force, Africa Mabata, they were rhyming over electro.
Okay, right.
So hip hop in those days was actually called electro or electro funk, but that was early hip hop.
Okay.
So, you know, back in '79, you might have had Rapper's Delight and the Sugar Hill Gang. You might have had, Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five, but the early hip hop was electro, and so that's not to get confused with what later was called electro.
Right.
That was hip hop. So people like Captain Rap, Captain Rock, Hassim, they were hip hop records. That was what hip hop was, but it was called electro, whereas it really should have just been called hip hop. And then what happened? Along came Run-D.M.C. and LL Cool J and changed the sound from that electro music, because what you got to understand, people like Africa Mabata and the Soul Sonic Force, they were rhyming over like craft work.
Right.
So that was the early foundation of hip hop. Was that electro style music like craft work and other like significant records. And then it was only when the likes of Spoonie G and obviously Run-D.M.C. and LL Cool J, the most famous, they changed it to a harder sound. But electro was hip hop. Yeah.
Cool. Good answer, man.
No, electro was not house music, fam.
No, for sure. I dig that, man.
All we were playing was rap, but it was called electro in those days. And I think the reason we called it electro was that there was Morgan Khan had a label called Street Sounds, and he put out this series which was really, it dominated it. And it was like electro, and it went like volumes 1 to God knows 30 or whatever, and so it was referred to as electro. But electro was they were rap artists like Africa Mabata. It was it was rap. Yeah.
Moving forward 30 years, I saw your interview with Young Thug, man. That was one of the wildest interviews I've seen in my life. Like you are probably my favorite interviewer. Above Nardwar. Like Nardwar's dope, but I say what you do is even better. Looking back over the years, which has been something that really stands out as a guy who can't really be interviewed in a way that you interview other rappers. That was a weird interview. Who else comes to mind in terms of those like really wild, out there interviews?
What you got to understand, I feel, in all honesty, these artists are like, they're deep personalities in their own world. And when I say in their own world, it's not like just them, but the environments they live. That's the deepness of their world, and this is how they relate and communicate. And a lot of these artists are keeping it so totally real to themselves, like totally real to themselves. So you've got to respect their world. You've got to respect their world. So it's not like he's an eccentric. No, that environment that he's from, like people like Baby, Birdman. These are deep characters with their own, culture and their own lifestyle, and these are rich people, man. So you've got to accept, like you've got to come into their world, man. So it's not like Young Thug's crazy. Young Thug's a very deep guy.
Okay, for sure, man. I just want to get some mid-motion interview stuff, but obviously, man, for real. What has kept you hungry in the game? Going all the year, what stopped you from saying, you know what, fuck this DJing shit, I just want to live in Marbella and what I mean?
Got nothing, this is me, baby. I got nothing. This is what I do, man.
So you wake up every day hungry to do more?
Yeah, man. And I'm a dude who has kept that thirst, man.
You've got the thirst,
I kept that, man. I ain't like, this is all I do, man. This is all I got, man. And I'm real about it, so I love it, man.
And what separates you from the guys that are not as hungry as you? What is the hunger? How would you describe the hunger?
Love of the music, man. Love of the music. Love of the scene. Love of the parties. Love the culture.
For sure.
Yeah, it's that love, man.
Yeah.
It's what I do, man.
And what first grabbed you about grime music? Because you obviously, when you had the grime show in 09, that was like dope as fuck, man. I was listening to that every single week. What first grabbed you about grime that made you think, okay, I'm gonna mess with this?
I don't know. Seeing the power of it in the clubs.
In the clubs.
I mean, clubs are very significant for me. So records which are big in the clubs, you can see the power, how people are moving and loving and respecting it, man. So yeah, it's the power. It's the power of the clubs, man. So those early records ringing off, man, like Pow and those Dizzy Rascal early joints. It's significant, man.
Okay. And what do you think separates a good DJ from an amazing DJ?
Oh man, I think now a lot of DJs are like DJing is all pretty like. I just come back from a tour of Canada. People DJing exactly like I DJ. I go to clubs in the UK. We all DJ the same now. So there isn't that. There's so many DJs now. The DJing thing is very similar now. Okay. That's something I've learned from traveling the world, man. Okay. People are sharing that experience, man.
Okay. Well, yeah, man. Big up, nice respect.
Good luck.
Thank you very much for the interview.